I secretly loved him for 10 years. Never thought that even having his child was a mistake. He pushed me onto the operating table himself, saying, "Anyone in this world can have my baby, except you." Just then, the game reached her turn. They were playing Truth or Dare, and whoever the bottle pointed to would face a punishment. The bottle pointed directly at Isabel Lopez. Isabel, we finally got you. Come on, tell us, who got you this luxurious private room today? A girl asked, full of curiosity. This girl had always been close to Isabel Lopez, especially during their first year of high school when they sat together. Isabel Lopez was suddenly caught off guard by this situation. She hadn't expected that after just replying to a few texts, this would happen to her. For a moment, she was genuinely a bit stunned, especially when the girl asked who booked the private room. Normally, such questions wouldn't have been a big deal, but the tone now wasn't casual, it had a gossipy edge. High school girls were starting to develop crushes. Even though Jason Smith had liked her for a long time, she still felt a bit shy to bring it up. Her face immediately turned slightly red. Thankfully, the lights in the KTV room were dim, or everyone would have seen. She acted shy, pretending her awkwardness was just because the bottle had pointed to her. She covered her face with both hands, not wanting others to see. As her slightly cool hands touched her face, she could feel how hot her cheeks were. Isabel Lopez paused for a moment, then said to everyone, "It's nobody. Really nobody. It was my brother who booked it for me." Everyone knew that she had remarried with another family and that she had a brother there. However, they had never met her brother. "Isabel, wow, you really know how to live. Since it was your brother who booked this room, it must mean he's pretty wealthy. Why didn't you bring him along?" "We're all about to graduate high school. With resources like that, you should introduce us," another girl who had asked earlier said. Actually, everyone knew what kind of family her mother had remarried into. The Smith family was quite well known in B-City. Although Jason Smith usually kept a low profile, it didn't stop reporters from trying to capture news about him. Sometimes he would end up on the covers of newspapers. Everyone knew that Jason Smith, the heir of the Smith family, was not only exceptionally good-looking, but also perfect in every other way. For example, in academics, he was outstanding. He had given up the business courses his father arranged for him to pursue a career in medicine. His accomplishments in the medical field were also impressive. Sometimes, he appeared on the news because of his achievements in medicine. For a moment, Isabel Lopez wasn't sure how to answer. After a brief pause, she remembered Jason Smith's reason for rejecting her before. "This isn't the best setting, it's our class meeting. If I bring my brother, it wouldn't be as casual anymore." That's true," another girl said. "If your brother came, we girls would be a bit shy. We've never met someone so perfect. And the boys in our class would probably feel pressure too. It's better he doesn't come today." "But Isabel, when can you bring your brother out so we can all meet him?" The same girl who had defended Isabel Lopez earlier immediately asked. After all, who wouldn't like a man who had talent, looks, and wealth? If they could get close to him through Isabel Lopez, they could go from the ground to the sky in an instant. Maybe another time. If possible, I believe my brother would be willing to come out. Yeah, okay. In fact, Isabel Lopez was a bit annoyed, especially when she saw so many girls admiring him. No matter what, she was the one he liked the most in his heart. He wanted to possess her and make her heart belong only to him. So when outsiders acted this way, he felt like something he cherished was being pried into, and he really didn't like that feeling. However, her answer was still very official and graceful. She just hid the fact that Jason Smith was coming to pick her up today. After the game ended, Isabel Lopez drank with them. She usually didn't drink much, so just a little made her feel uncomfortable. Today, she pushed through and drank 3 or 4 full glasses. When she finished the 4th glass, she suddenly felt the need to go to the bathroom. Coincidentally, another girl was also heading there, so they went together. In the hallway, they helped each other as they walked toward the bathroom. "Isabel, you really can't handle your alcohol. Look at you. You've only had a bit, and now you're red-faced and ears burning. It's like someone's scolding you." Isabel Lopez murmured, "I'm not good at drinking. I rarely drink, and today I've had a bit more than usual. I feel a little dizzy, like I'm walking on clouds." She shared her true feelings. "Isabel, you really need to practice more. When you get married, you'll need to toast people, and won't it be even harder then? Marriage. Those two words kept repeating in her mind, and suddenly her thoughts drifted to her and Jason Smith. She imagined the two of them walking down the aisle, walking down the red carpet, together on stage. She'd wear a beautiful wedding dress, and he'd wear a sharp suit. They would stand before the church, solemnly vow to support, care for, love, and cherish each other through sickness and health, poverty and wealth for a lifetime. Then, these words appeared in her mind. Isabel, Isabel. The girl saw her standing still with her hand resting on the wall, smiling foolishly. Seeing that the distance between them was too far, she walked over. "What are you thinking? Why are you smiling like that? Didn't you need to go to the bathroom? Hurry up," she said, reaching out to touch her face. It felt a bit hot, then she put her hand on her and said, "You're not really so drunk that you can't move, are you? I can't carry you." Isabel Lopez, her head dizzy, just responded and said, "Let's go to the bathroom first. Help me." That day was like this. After drinking, her head felt fuzzy, but she didn't forget to have him come pick her up. She just changed the text message into a phone call. When Jason Smith came to pick her up, she insisted that none of her classmates send her. She went alone to the side of the road, waiting unsteadily. When Jason Smith arrived, he saw her bending down with her head buried, squatting on the ground. After receiving the call, he immediately went to the underground parking lot of the coffee shop and drove out. When he arrived at the entrance of the Charm Dynasty, he saw her small figure squatting on the ground. She was already very small, and now curled up on the ground like a tiny hedgehog. Jason Smith quickly got out of the car and walked toward her. Isabel Lopez. He had already noticed something was wrong with her voice on the phone. After questioning, he found out she had drunk alcohol, but he didn't expect her to be this drunk. Feeling a little anxious and irritated, Jason Smith immediately reached under her arms, grabbed both sides, and pulled her up from the ground. "Bro!" After hearing his voice, Isabel Lopez was immediately pulled up from the ground like a green bean. Looking up, she saw his strong facial features, which were even more defined under the streetlights. Because she had drunk, her voice now had a hint of flattery, which made Jason Smith's heart skip a beat. His anger softened immediately, but his tone was still a bit firm. "Why did you drink so much?" She never used to drink, but today she had ended up this way, he thought. Luckily, he had come early and stayed nearby instead of going home. Otherwise, if she had been alone on the street in this condition, who knows what could have happened? "I'm happy. As she spoke, she slowly reached out, wanting to hug Jason Smith. But because of her drunkenness, her body was weak and limp. Her hand, once raised, slid right off his shoulder. Her body followed, sliding downward. Jason Smith quickly reached out, holding her tightly in his arms, not letting her fall. Jason Smith sighed, gently patting her face, and softly asked, "So what are you doing now? Clinging to me?" "Isabel Lopez, you didn't drink on purpose just to cling to me, did you?" Cling to you." Isabel Lopez's mind was a bit foggy, so whatever Jason Smith said, she just repeated. However, Jason Smith followed her words. "You really are clinging to me, huh, Isabel Lopez? Do you even remember you're a girl? Do you know what shame is?" "Not ashamed. No, ashamed," Isabel Lopez replied. Jason Smith knew it was pointless to keep talking to her, so he stopped and said nothing more. All right, we're going home now. I'll take you home," Jason Smith said, supporting nearly all of her weight as he helped her walk forward. But he had really overestimated her ability to walk. She stumbled as they moved forward. Eventually, unable to tolerate her slow pace, he picked her up horizontally and walked toward the car. He opened the passenger door, helped her into the seat, and then unbuckled her seatbelt, fastening it for her. He gently patted her face and called out, "Isabel Lopez! Isabel Lopez!" However, she didn't answer him. She lowered her head and turned her face to the other side, seeming a little displeased with the light tap. "Little rascal," Jason Smith said, then closed the car door, walked around to the driver's side, and got in. After buckling his seatbelt, he drove the car straight home. When they reached the section of road before getting to the house, Jason Smith stopped the car by the side of the road, reached out, and tapped her face, calling her again. "Bro, stop it. I want to sleep for a bit. This time, she spoke more clearly, though her words still carried a hint of drunkenness. If he just took her home like this, both adults would definitely be worried. So, he decided to pull her out of the car, close the door, and park the car at the entrance of the neighborhood, walking her back home. From the entrance of the neighborhood to their door was a 10-minute walk, just enough time to help her sober up a little. Bro. What's up? Jason Smith said. Isabel Lopez, you've got some nerve. When you wake up tomorrow and remember what you look like now, I'll be curious to see how you'll face me. We'll see how I deal with you. Jason Smith added. Bro. However, Isabel Lopez didn't listen to anything he said. She just reached out and placed her hand on his body, moving it all the way to his face, touching his sharp features. At that moment, Isabel Lopez felt as if she were dreaming. She was touching his face, a scene that had appeared countless times in her dreams. So, at that moment, she thought she was dreaming. After calling out to him, her tone suddenly turned coquettish. Bro. She called him 3 times in a row, and even he felt a slight tremor in his heart. The girl he liked, calling him like that in her drunken state, made him feel like he might just die from the overwhelming emotions. Unable to resist, his head slowly leaned toward hers, seeing her cherry-red lips, her soft, smooth skin, and her delicate features. He could barely hold himself back. Just as his lips were about to touch hers, she suddenly gently pushed him away a little. Don't touch me. What? She didn't want him to get close to her? Don't touch me, Isabel Lopez said. I have someone I like. Someone you like? No way. She actually had someone she liked. Who was it? Which guy was it? Jason Smith felt like there was a fire burning in his heart. How could she have someone she liked? Yeah, I have someone I like. So don't touch me. Don't move me. Isabel Lopez, you're getting too bold, Jason Smith almost yelled, his voice full of frustration. He never imagined something like this would happen. He never thought that one day Isabel Lopez would tell him she liked someone else. He had been waiting for so long, ever since he understood his feelings. At first, he couldn't accept it, but in the end, when he couldn't stop himself, he had just been waiting for her to grow up. He was afraid to say what he truly felt, worried it would scare her. He was also afraid that if he confessed too soon, she wouldn't be able to accept it, and he feared she would reject him if he said it aloud. But none of his plans mattered, as everything changed unexpectedly.